And here I am with Kristin Tubb, and she is one of our authors here at SIA Book Fest, and she's going to be at our festival.
Yes.
And would you mind telling me a little bit about your books?
Sure, absolutely. Selling Hope is historical fiction, middle grade, appropriate for ages 10 to 14. And it is based on a true story of the Halley's Comet scare of 1910, which was Earth actually passed through the tail of the comet, and people freaked out. And they thought it was going to be the end of the world. And in response to that, they being con men, started selling lead umbrellas and gas masks and anti-comet pills. So once I read that, that's all true, I was like, that's a story I have to tell. Yes. It's amazing. So Selling Hope is the story of Hope McDaniels, who is on the vaudeville circuit, and she travels so much for this job, and all she wants is a home. So she starts selling anti-comet pills in order to raise enough money to leave the vaudeville circuit. And 13th Sign, I get a lot of readers of Percy Jackson fame with this book because it is the Greek mythology of the zodiac calendar. And in this book, Jalen Jones, on her 13th birthday, wanders into a voodoo store in New Orleans, and she finds a book about horoscopes that's locked shut. And she picks the lock, and in doing so, inadvertently wakes up the 13th sign of the zodiac, Ophiuchus. And when you add in the 13th sign into the zodiac calendar, it actually shifts all the dates, making most people a different horoscope sign. Oh, neat. Which would make everyone a different personality type. So the premise is that when she awakens the 13th sign, everyone's personalities shift. They become an entirely different person. And she has to battle the other 12 signs, kind of like the 12 labors of Hercules, in order to send those signs back to the stars.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I love stories that involve mythology and all kinds of different things that you can pull from older stories in the way of we take ideas that we already have and review them again. Also, the Halley's Comet story sounds fascinating. I love the shift in perspective there, and how you're taking somebody who we normally think of as a negative character, the con man character, and posing that person as the hero. What made you want to invert that and have sort of an unexpected kind of hero there?
That's a great question. Actually, that was a very difficult character to write because I did not want to make her unlikable. I don't like reading unlikable characters. Sometimes people do, but I prefer to root for my character, and so I had to give her a really good motive. And so I painted the vaudeville lifestyle, I think, fairly accurately, but it was one that she really disliked. Most vaudevillians vaudeville is like a traveling circus is now. If you don't know what vaudeville is, they traveled from city to city, and it was a group of performers making money. And it was a horrible lifestyle unless you really loved being on the road all the time. Most of them did not own houses. Buster Keaton, for example, was born in a boarding house on the road, and that's how he grew up, literally, in the vaudeville circuit. Because his parents were vaudevillians. So I had to give her a really good motive for wanting to con people. And then part of it, too, is she kind of learns along the way that maybe she's helping some of these people. Maybe she is selling hope.
Giving them something to hang on to and get them through.
Yeah, getting them through a rough time. So it shifts a little bit from wanting money to wanting to help, I hope. So.
I love that sense of development, too, the idea of selling something that you don't believe in and then ultimately sort of coming to around. I like that idea very much. Well, thank you so very much. Why do you think that a book festival like this is important? Why do you think it matters?
Well, from experience, I will say I'm a firm believer in the fact that I feel like a story is incomplete without a reader. I think that stories have to have a reader in order to actually be the end of the process of publishing a book. So when you get to meet the very end of your story, which is the reader, as a writer, there's no other feeling like that. And it's not just with my books. I feel the same way about learning about readers of Percy Jackson or readers of A Single Shard, Linda Sue Park, any type of book that I adore and I find out someone else adores, there's this connection there that can only be done at festivals like these. And I think that there's so much to be said for completing the story that way.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, and we're so excited for you to be at our book festival. Thank you very much.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.